So the song came about when I was over around to Bethany's house and we were kind of just, Bethany was messing around on the piano as kind of standard, and we made a joke about her writing songs and all of this, and then she started writing a song and I was like, oh my word, how funny it would be if you wrote a song for our wedding. And then she just kind of started throwing out lyrics like left, right and centre and putting like tunes to them. They were just funny, we were just taking the mick. And then I like literally sent a Snapchat to Nathan at the time being like, oh lol, Bethany's writing a song for our wedding. And then it kind of dawned on me and I was kind of like to Bethany, I was like, oh my word, like, should we do this? I was like, we could genuinely write a song and surprise Nathan with it. So then after that, Nathan literally bugged me being like, Bethany needs to write us a song. Like, that's so cool. Like, she should genuinely do that. And I was like, no, she's not gonna write us a song, Nathan, don't be so silly. Like, why would she do that? I was like, she's enough on her plate. And then he, like, I swear right up until our wedding, he bugged me until, and I just have to keep shooting it down. Bethany had to shoot him down at one point as well, literally being like, no, can't write you a song. Like, it was literally torture. But yeah, so it kind of started as a joke. So emotionally, I initially felt excited at the thought of writing a song and having it sung at the wedding, and for being like, yeah, the surprise behind it and surprising Nathan, because it's something that like I love doing, but I'm really bad at surprising Nathan because he always figures them out. But this one I knew wouldn't get out because the only people that knew were me, Bethany, and like my mum, because I had to pre-warn my mum because of the kind of emotions around the song. You'll know that when you listen to it, like, it obviously hits home quite close to our hearts. But I suppose that all came from how much Nathan means to me and it all. So it was like, yeah, a mixture of all sorts of emotions. I suppose then when we were there on the day, I was quite nervous because I hadn't heard the song in its final form. I knew the lyrics, but I hadn't heard like the tune or anything. I knew that had been changed slightly. So I suppose I was nervous as to how that would go, and even how Bethany would feel in the middle of it all, because she was like so involved in my wedding in every sense of the word. And I suppose how everybody would react. I didn't want people to be like over emotional, but at the same time, I still wanted people to feel that emotion. So yeah, mixture of kind of every emotion that you can think of. The song obviously is really close to my heart. It like literally describes my full relationship with Nathan quite perfectly. I was like, but then alongside that, it like mentions the like most important person in my life who's like not with us anymore, and that just like having my dad and Nathan in like something that's like similar means so much, because they never got to actually meet. But I suppose the song kind of, when me and Bethany were talking about the lyrics, like Bethany was like, what is it that you love about Nathan? And I was just like, oh, he like reminds me so much of my dad. And like, I was like, I don't know how you're gonna put that in a lyric. And then Bethany just writes the chorus and sings it to me. And I was like, oh, started crying, bawled my eyes out. But like literally, like, so I suppose it like that sums up what it means to me. Like just having kind of the two of them in one song kind of puts a link between them that was like never there before. So yeah, it means a lot.
Obviously this is a very big song, it's a very emotional song. So when I was writing it, I was very conscious that it mightn't have been what Hannah wanted, but I was also conscious that Hannah had such an attachment to her dad and has such an attachment to Nathan, and I wanted to incorporate that somehow in her wedding, and the best way that I knew how is through song. It's my outlet, and I remember writing it, and I remember her being so excited and both of us just crying whenever I had first written the chorus, and at that point I knew this is the right song. And yeah, on the day, just knowing how I could bring her father to be part of her wedding day, yeah, I think that just made the day for me on her special day.
So the lyrics that I'd kind of like to give a shout out to would kind of be the down by the sea, you spent special days with me, cozy nights tucked away. So me and Nathan would have spent a lot of time down at my mum's carving in Portrush, and that's literally what that verse is all about, was just the times we spent like listening to the rain on the roof. And I suppose those were memories that meant a lot to me and kind of were significant, because when we were like talking about the song, Bethany kept asking me like, give me specific memories that you remember from you and Nathan, and I suppose that was one that was like a general cover up of like a lot of our memories.
Two sets of lyrics, well, lyric phrases that I would really like to highlight are, well, the first being in the first verse, which is I don't remember the moment I fell in love with you, because when you're writing a love song, that's not what you first think of, but this so sums up Hannah and Nathan. I remember when I was writing this song, I was like, okay, Hannah, give me some of your most precious memories with Nathan. Like, when did you first fall in love with him? And she's just like, well, I don't actually remember. And I'm like, what? And this was the theme. Every time I asked her if like these, like what society would deem as like the moments, she was just like, yeah, I like him in the car. I like going to the caravan with him. I remember hearing the rain. I'm like, what? But somehow I managed to take what little she gave me and throw it into this song that has spun off. And it's just great. I love those moments. But there's one other lyric that I love, and I was just like, wow. But when she was studying for her midwifery, she actually studied in Scotland. So the lyric, over oceans and valleys you chased after me, is about how he fought for their love even when they were in two separate countries and they had to do long distance, and now they're married and they of course love each other, and it's great. So you might have seen on my social media that I had some hidden features in the album cover. I can take no credit for this. This was all the graphic designer James Bammer. Check him out, he's great. But behind the album cover, you might see her wedding bouquet. It's very subtle, but it is there. It's all Hannah's wedding bouquet in the background, those flowers you see. And also the handwriting was Hannah's handwriting. Dad Would Love You was written by her, which I thought was quite a lovely touch. And then finally the photo is of indeed Hannah and her dad whenever they took a trip down to the beach.